YouTube channel. I am back with another video. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment and share. Also, please let me know in the comments down below when you guys will be writing your June exam, your English June paper 2 exam, so that I can also provide you with some of the common exam questions that will help you prepare for your exam. Okay, so today we'll be looking at Act 1 Scene 3 of My Children My Africa, the invitation to the quiz. Okay, so in this scene, Act 1 Scene 1, in this scene, Act 1 Scene 3, Mr. M visits Isabel at her school and invites her to take part in a literature quiz at the Graham's Town School Festivals with Tammy. So the Standard Bank was sponsoring a new event, an inter-school English literature quiz. Each team must consist of 2 members. That is why Mr. M goes to Isabel and invites her to take part in the quiz with Tammy, because each team must consist of 2 members. Alright? Mr. M says that he was so excited to see Tammy and Isabel debating against each other, and that he thought it would be a good idea for them to join forces. To join forces meaning to make a team to work together. Yes. Alright? He believes they can win. He hopes to use such a victory to get a full university scholarship for Tammy. Mr. M admits that Tammy is his favorite student and says that if he looks after himself, he'll go far and do big things. Mr. M sees Tammy as the fulfillment of a lifelong dream. Any teacher dreams about that one special student, that one eager and gifted young head into which he can pour all that he knows. Mr. M believes that Tammy is a born leader and what the new generation needs. So Tammy was Mr. M's favorite, and also Mr. M believes that Tammy is a true born leader. Tammy is someone who's going to put an end to apartheid at some point in his life. That is why he also intends to get him a full university scholarship. Okay? That's if they win this competition. Isabel is excited by taking part in the literature quiz and sees it as an opportunity to get to know the young people from Zolile High School better. She calls the visit to the school one of the best things that has ever happened to her. Okay? So yes, that's what is happening in Act 1, Scene 3. Mr. M suggests to Miss Brockway. Miss Brockway was Isabel's teacher. He suggests that Zolile High School and Kamdibu join forces and enter a combined team. He suggests that Isabel and Tammy join forces and enter a combined team in this English literature quiz competition. Okay? Also, Isabel is excited. That's what we find from this scene. And Isabel asks Mr. M if he's told Tammy about the competition. But then Mr. M asserts that he says that he's an old-fashioned traditionalist, when Isabel asks if he told Tammy about the competition as well. So when we talk about a traditionalist, an old-fashioned traditionalist, we're basically referring to someone who does things the old school way, someone who believes in the old way of doing things. That's Mr. M. He believes in the old way of doing things, that Tammy should listen to whatever he says. That's the old way of doing things. Okay? Alright. Let's look at the comments on Act 1, Scene 3, conflict and plots. This scene makes the potential conflict between Mr. M and Tammy even clearer to the audience. Its main function is therefore to drive the plot to a higher state of tension. Potential conflicts. Remember in Act 1, Scene 1, we spoke of a generational conflict between Tammy and Mr. M. I did say that a generational conflict is when the ideas and interests of one generation openly collides with the other of the other generation. So now this scene makes it clearer to us, the audience, makes the conflicts clearer to us, the audience, okay? We realize that Mr. M is completely out of touch with Tammy's feelings and perceptions. In Act 1, Scene 1, Tammy made it clear to Isabel that he no longer enjoyed school and that he was not sure about his future or about studying further. He also made it clear that he thought Mr. M had no authority over him. So now it is evident that Mr. M is out of touch with Tammy's feelings because Mr. M intends to get Tammy a full university scholarship. On the other hand, Tammy did mention that he no longer enjoyed school and he is unsure if he still wants to further his studies or not. So yes, Mr. M is out of touch with Tammy's feelings, and this symbolizes a potential conflict, a potential generational conflict between the two, okay? Mr. M, on the other hand, has no doubt that Tammy should study further, you see? Mr. M is adamant that Tammy is going to study further. He is out of touch with Tammy's feelings because Tammy did mention that he does not enjoy school anymore and he is unsure if he still wants to study further or not, okay? Mr. M mistakenly tells Isabel that Tammy will not question his authority. Tammy would not question his decisions. In other words, Mr. M says, I teach, Tammy learns. He adds that in the African culture, they do not blur the difference between the generations in the way white people do. However, you know already from Act 1, Scene 1 that Tammy thinks differently. Yes, you do know that, right? That Tammy said, I don't listen to what he says and I don't do what he says, okay? Mr. M's assumptions about Tammy's obedience are an example of dramatical irony where the audience knows something that a character or characters do not know. So as the audience, you're also an audience, you know how Tammy feels. But Mr. M doesn't know. Only us, the audience, knows, okay? So now let's look at the theme. Act 1, Scene 3 has another purpose. It develops a central theme of the play, the idea of wasted opportunities, okay? Mr. M says of Tammy and Isabel a waste. He regards Tammy and Isabel as a waste. He says they shouldn't be fighting each other. Remember in the debate, they were fighting each other? I did say that when people are debating, they are bound to have an argument, okay? So Mr. M says they are a waste. He sees them as a waste because they shouldn't be fighting each other. Instead, they should be fighting together. Hence, Mr. M also suggested to Miss Brockway, Isabel's teacher, that Isabel and Tammy join forces. They fight together in the English literature quiz, okay? However, this comment that they shouldn't be fighting each other, they should be fighting together, this comment refers to more than just the debate. It refers to the country as a whole. Remember, the setting of this story is apartheid South Africa in 1984, where there was still division between black and white people. So that's why Mr. M says they shouldn't be fighting each other, but they should be fighting together, okay? So hence, this statement does not only apply to the debate, but it applies to the country as a whole, whereby division was still a norm, whereby there was still division because it was still during the apartheid years, the apartheid regime. Okay, Mr. N believes that if talented young people from different races can work together, they could take on anybody. That is why, number one, he invited white girls from Kamdibu Girls High School to have a debate with learners from Zolile High School. Now he also invites a white girl who is Isabel to take part in the English literature quiz with Tammy, because he believes that if talented young people from different races can work together, they could take on anybody. They could take on anybody during the apartheid years, right? He does not want Tammy and Isabel to be another two victims of this country's madness. So yes, that's what we find from Act 1, Scene 3. I hope this summary was helpful. If you are lost or if there's something that you did not understand, please do feel free to comment down below and then I'll get back to you. Yes, I'll provide you guys another video. Yes, also practice questions in my next videos. That's it for today. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment and share. Stay safe.